What if I told you that the MSI Raider, a $5,000 monster with an RTX 5090 inside, isn't always the smartest gaming laptop you can buy in 2025? That kind of machine looks unstoppable on paper, but most players will never touch the limits of its power. The real danger is that you can spend a fortune only to end up with wasted performance you'll never use. In a year where mid-range GPUs rival last year's flagships, the best laptop for you might actually cost half as much and still crush every game you throw at it. Here's the truth: buyers don't hear specs only matter when they connect to your life. A 16GB VRAM GPU sounds impressive, but it only matters if you're pushing 4K ray tracing at Ultra. If you're playing Valorant or Fortnite at 1080p, you're paying thousands for frames that vanish into thin air. On the other side, cut corners too deep, like buying a so-called budget laptop with only 6GB VRAM, and you'll run into stutters the moment you fire up a big single-player title. That's why we built this list, to cut through marketing noise and match laptops to the way people actually play. So here's the mission: 10 laptops, 10 winners, each chosen for a different budget and playstyle. From the unstoppable desk replacements to the surprising budget champs, you're about to see the machines worth your money in 2025. And we're starting at the very top with a laptop so powerful it feels like carrying a desktop in your bag, the MSI Raider GE78HX. But before we get into that, hit that like button and subscribe to Beyond Gear for more honest breakdowns, smarter buying guides, and the latest tech drops you won't want to miss. MSI Raider GE78HX doesn't just look intimidating, it is the benchmark for ultimate gaming laptops in 2025. With the RTX 5090 packed inside, this machine can rip through modern titles at 4K with ray tracing fully unleashed, something very few laptops in history have been able to do. It's not just about raw FPS, it's about making games like Cyberpunk 2077 or Alan Wake 2 feel flawless, cinematic, and effortless even at the heaviest settings. This is the closest you can get to desktop dominance in a portable form. Beyond the GPU, MSI throws in outrageous numbers: a Ryzen 9 HX 3D processor tuned for maximum gaming, 64GB of DDR5 RAM, and a QHD plus 240Hz panel that refuses to let frames go to waste. It's not a laptop you casually throw into a backpack. It's heavy, it runs hot, and it costs more than some used cars. But for those who demand everything maxed out, including cooling and storage, the Raider is the no-limits choice. It even doubles as a workstation for editing 8K video or running massive creative workloads without breaking a sweat. Still, calling this laptop portable feels generous. You'll need a desk, a charger, and a serious budget to unlock what it offers. But the reason it earns the top slot is simple: no other laptop in 2025 stretches the boundaries of what portable gaming can be quite like this. And yet, not every player needs overkill power. Our next pick proves you can still ride the cutting edge at a slightly saner price point. Still, calling this laptop portable feels generous. You'll need a desk, a charger, and a serious budget to unlock what it offers. But the reason it earns the top slot is simple: no other laptop in 2025 stretches the boundaries of what portable gaming can be quite like this. And yet, not every player needs overkill power. Our next pick proves you can still ride the cutting edge at a slightly saner price point: the Alienware Area 51MR2. The Alienware Area 51MR2 makes its presence known the moment you see it. This isn't a slim, subtle machine. It's a bold statement that you're carrying a full-blown powerhouse. Armed with the RTX 5090 and Intel's Ultra 9HX processor, it takes on the most punishing games and creative tasks with the confidence of a desktop tower. Alienware's approach isn't just performance, it's customization. Buyers can tweak RAM, storage, and even keyboards to tailor this beast exactly to their needs. What separates the Area 51M from its rivals is the combination of hardware aggression with Alienware's premium design DNA. Dual 2TB storage options, DDR5 memory speeds north of 6,400 megatransfers per second, and a mechanical keyboard upgrade turn it into a tool as much as a toy. The 18-inch display feels cinematic, perfect for those who want immersion without carrying an external monitor. The RGB accents and distinct Alienware builds scream personality, making it not just a machine, but part of your gaming identity. Yes, it's heavy, and yes, it drains your wallet almost as fast as it drains the battery, but it offers a blend of luxury and raw force that few laptops can match. For buyers who crave dominance but also the signature Alienware touch, this model holds undeniable appeal. But power isn't everything. Sometimes balance is what really wins. That's exactly why the ASUS ROG Strix Scar 16, with its RTX 5080 heart, claims the next spotlight. The ASUS ROG Strix Scar 16 has earned its reputation as the sleek assassin of high-end gaming laptops. Powered by the RTX 5080, it thrives at 1440p ultra settings and still has the muscle to step into 4K territory when paired with DLSS. ASUS equips it with a blazing fast QHD OLED display running at 240 Hz, turning every frame into a sharp, vibrant spectacle. For players who want visual fidelity without reaching into the $5,000 stratosphere, this Scar feels like the perfect strike point. Under the hood, it balances performance with practicality. A Core Ultra 9 processor and 32GB of RAM make multitasking seamless, while the advanced cooling system ensures long sessions stay consistent without thermal throttling. The design feels aggressive yet portable, with a chassis that's lighter and easier to handle compared to its 5090 cousins. At around $3,000, it trims excess while keeping what matters: speed, fluidity, and premium craftsmanship. What makes this model shine is that it doesn't try to be everything. It zeroes in on delivering the best competitive and cinematic gaming blend for less than flagship cost. If the Raider is brute force, the Strix Scar is precision. But ASUS isn't the only brand balancing premium specs with smart pricing. The HP Omen 17 brings its own punch at an even sharper value, and that's where we head next. The HP Omen 17 takes the fight to premium territory, but at a price that feels refreshingly grounded. With the RTX 5080 under its hood, it delivers the horsepower needed for uncompromised 1440p gaming and even stable 4K in the right titles. The difference? It often undercuts rivals by several $100s, making it the dark horse in the high-performance tier. At around $2,750, this laptop puts power within reach for buyers who want flagship-class visuals without maxing out their credit card. It doesn't cut corners where it counts. A Ryzen AI 9 CPU drives fluid multitasking, while 32GB of fast DDR5 memory ensures smooth performance across games, streams, and creative workloads. The display holds its own with a 240 Hz refresh rate, offering crisp responsiveness for both esports addicts and cinematic gamers. HP also nails the little details: strong speakers, a clean keyboard layout, and cooling that holds up even in extended marathons. Where the Omen wins is in balance. It strips away flashy excess but preserves the raw experience that makes gaming laptops worth owning. For the gamer who wants elite performance without entering flagship overkill, this machine lands perfectly in the middle. Still, balance doesn't stop here. Lenovo has a contender that brings OLED magic and premium build quality into the mid-range zone. Let's break down the Legion Pro 7i next. The Lenovo Legion Pro 7i proves that you don't need the absolute top GPU to get a premium experience. Outfitted with the RTX 5070 Ti, it's a mid-range powerhouse that handles 1440p ultra settings with ease and pumps out high FPS for esports titles. The real star here is the OLED 240Hz display. It gives you razor-sharp clarity and vibrant color depth usually reserved for pricier flagships. This is the laptop that shows how smart engineering can make mid-range feel like high-end. Inside, Lenovo keeps the specs serious: a Core Ultra 9 processor paired with 32GB of DDR5 RAM and a roomy 1TB SSD. That combination means you're not just getting gaming muscle, but also a machine that can glide through video editing, streaming, or heavy multitasking without stutters. The Legion build is sturdy, with a reinforced chassis and one of the most reliable cooling systems in the business, designed to stay quiet under pressure. It's this mix of display quality, raw performance, and build confidence that makes the Legion Pro 7i stand tall in the middle of the lineup. At around $2,200, it delivers value that feels well above its price bracket. But what if you could dip even lower in cost and still walk away with OLED visuals and big performance? That's exactly what Acer manages with the Predator Helios 16, our next stop. The ASUS TUF A16 is built for gamers who want performance that lasts without paying for extras they'll never use. With the RTX 5070 inside, it delivers smooth 1080p ultra gameplay and can push into 1440p territory when paired with the right settings. ASUS designed this machine with one mission: durability. The TUF line has military-grade toughness, so it holds up through heavy travel, long sessions, and years of daily use. It's not just about staying tough, it's about making smart choices. The Ryzen 9 CPU keeps performance steady across demanding titles, while 32GB of RAM and a 1TB SSD make the A16 ready for both modern AAA releases and multitasking. Compared to flashier gaming rigs, the TUF trims down on RGB and aesthetic flourishes, but what you gain is reliability, cooler operation, and a lighter price tag. That's why the A16 is perfect for players who want a straightforward workhorse, consistent, practical, and affordable in the mid-range category. But ASUS isn't the only brand proving value at this tier. MSI's Katana 15 takes a different approach by squeezing near 5070 performance into one of the most budget-friendly packages out there. The MSI Katana 15 proves that you don't need to spend premium money to get dependable gaming performance in 2025. Armed with the RTX 4070, it pushes close to RTX 5070 numbers, but often costs several $100s less. For under $1,300, you're getting a laptop that can handle 1080p Ultra at high frame rates, and even dip into 1440p gaming. With some tweaks, for budget-conscious players who still want modern firepower, the Katana is one of the smartest plays on the market. Specs here are balanced for the price: 16GB of DDR5 memory, a full terabyte of NVMe storage, and a display that runs at 144Hz or higher, depending on the configuration. The Katana design also feels more refined than past budget models. Backlit keys, a sturdy hinge, and improved cooling all add up to a machine that doesn't feel cheap, even when compared side by side with mid-tier rivals. It's this combination of affordability and surprising polish that makes the Katana 15 such an appealing buy. For anyone who wants solid performance without breaking the bank, it's an easy recommendation. But the true budget hero still lies ahead: the HP Victus 16, which squeezes even more value out of the RTX 4060. The HP Victus 16 is the definition of accessible performance. With the RTX 4060 at its core, this laptop gives mainstream buyers a reliable way to enjoy modern titles at 1080p Ultra without pushing past the $1,000 mark. What makes it stand out is how it balances affordability with genuine gaming muscle, turning it into a system that's easy to recommend for students, travelers, or anyone who wants solid gaming power without overspending. HP equips the Victus with practical specs: 16GB of DDR5 RAM, a full terabyte of fast SSD storage, and a high refresh 144Hz display that keeps gameplay fluid. The chassis is simpler than HP's Omen line, but that's exactly the point. It focuses on delivering consistent frame rates and dependable thermals rather than flashy extras. For its price, you're not just buying a laptop, you're buying confidence that your games will run smoothly without compromise. This is the kind of machine that quietly builds its reputation over years of use, not just flashy first impressions. And while the Victus sets the standard for mainstream buyers, there's one final contender that makes gaming laptops accessible to nearly everyone: Acer's Nitro 5, the budget champion that closes out our list. The Acer Nitro 5 has long been the entry ticket into real gaming laptops, and in 2025, it still holds that crown. Outfitted with the RTX 4050, it handles esports titles at high frame rates and manages modern AAA games at 1080p with the right settings. Starting around the $700, $850 range, it opens the door for players who never thought they could afford a true gaming machine. The Nitro 5 doesn't pretend to be premium, it wins by being accessible and surprisingly capable. Inside, you'll typically find 16GB of RAM, a 512GB SSD, and a 144Hz IPS display. That means fluid motion for shooters, enough memory for today's titles, and fast storage for loading times. It's the little details like a keyboard with backlighting and multiple USB ports that make it feel like a complete gaming package despite its lower price. Acer's cooling system also deserves credit for keeping performance stable, even when the GPU is pushed near its limits. For newcomers, casual players, or anyone hunting for maximum value per dollar, the Nitro 5 is proof you don't need a fat wallet to join the game. And now that we've covered every tier from desk-dominating monsters to entry-level champs, it's time to wrap it all together with final verdicts, future insights, and the one piece of advice every buyer needs to hear before pulling the trigger. In 2025, the smartest gaming laptop isn't the priciest one, it's the one that matches your style of play. Premium beasts like the MSI Raider dominate 4K, mid-range picks like the Legion Pro 7i and Predator Helios 16 balance power and cost, and budget heroes like the HP Victus or Acer Nitro deliver dependable 1080p without overspending. Every tier now has a clear winner, making it easier than ever to buy with confidence. Do me a favor to subscribe to Beyond Gear to stay ahead of the next big shifts coming later this year.